That is just the pimple that popped, right? Like we still have a lot of mess that's just living underneath that we haven't figured out. Hey guys, it's Kyla and I am here to inspire you along your health journey. And today is a little different for me. I had all this content planned for this week and then Friday hit, right? And it just kind of got really real for me, and I really can't express completely how I feel, because usually when something truly bothers me, I kind of just go into my shell, and that's just the true cancer of me, right? Like I go into me and I become very self-aware about what's happening with me, and I try not to speak on things unless I truly know what I'm trying to say. But today's Blackout Tuesday, and I just wanted to lend my voice to exactly why this is such a big deal. The death of George Floyd was something that was heartbreaking. But it's something that we have become so numb to as a society. And if you're a person of color, it just constantly digs at you, right? Like every time you see it, it's like a piece of you kind of dies. But that's not the only piece that's dying. Like each of us are going through these microcosm situations that don't even get the press or the attention, and it's beyond just killing us in the streets, right? Like you definitely need to stop killing us in the streets. Police brutality is something that needs to be fixed, and it needs to be acknowledged. We need to make change there. However, that is just the pimple that popped, right? Like we still have a lot of mess that's just living underneath that we haven't figured out or paid attention to because we don't see it, right? Like nobody recorded it. It's just something that a lot of people are dealing with internally. And usually, if it's internal, until somebody actually takes a scan of it, we don't pay attention to it. I mean, realistically, like we don't pay attention to education scandals until there's a scan, right? Like somebody actually goes in and does an audit. We don't pay attention to financial scandals until somebody actually audits and looks at it. We don't pay attention to cancer unless somebody actually has a scan and the doctor tells you like, oh, this is what's causing this, right? Unless there's like a true symptom that we visually see, we're not paying attention to it. And that's the same thing with police brutality. What happened to George Floyd is happening consistently. It's happening consistently. A lot of it's not happening on camera. So we don't pay attention to it. We don't see it. But it has to stop. And honestly, that's just a piece of the bigger picture. To me, when I hear the term Black Lives Matter, it is Black Lives Matter in the streets when it comes to interaction with police, Black Lives Matter in education, Black Lives Matter in health, Black Lives Matter with finances, Black Lives Matter in entrepreneurship, Black Lives Matter in art, Black Lives Matter everywhere. And I was listening to a podcast recently that had Lovey on there, and she was just saying how as Black people, we don't know how to fail up, right? Like we don't really have that opportunity to fail up. We don't have an opportunity to make a mistake and thrive afterwards. We don't have an opportunity to say, hey, I want to try this business. We don't really have the opportunity to say like, hey, yeah, I may have ran the speed limit, but I'm gonna survive an interaction with the cops. We don't have the opportunity to say, hey, I may have endometriosis And if I go to a doctor, I'm going to get the solution I need, right? Like, it doesn't necessarily happen like that in all scenarios. And we should be able to fail up. Like, failure does not have to be something that all of us are scared of. It should be something that we are able to develop beyond. And I think that's the part that is nagging me the most, is that I just see it constantly in so many different parts of my life where we have accepted inequality and we constantly find ourselves trying to be more and be better and be the best, fighting against something that's already built against us. And it's frustrating. But I think it's important for us to understand that we have to support each other. And when I say each other, I'm talking about beyond what our president is saying, beyond the color of our skin. Like, we should be able to say, like, this is what I want to do, this is my purpose, and I'm going to drive it no matter what. And it's just moments like this where I get really quiet and I get frustrated because I'm like, how do you do that? Right? Like, how do we actually make that happen? So I guess the purpose of me sharing this message is, one, to acknowledge my silence, right? My silence is here because I'm mourning. I am mourning what we go through constantly. I'm mourning the inequality in our education system and the fact that we are remote learning and half of our kids aren't able to learn at all. I'm mourning because the majority of our kids are working 40 hours because they can, and nobody's stopping it. Nobody's saying, like, education is important to you anymore. I'm mourning because our healthcare system has been built against African Americans in ways that is so unrecognizable. I'm mourning because a doctor is not going to give you an extra test simply because you say that you're in pain, right? Like, I'm mourning because I have to be overly educated about the health system, about my health, my own personal health, for a doctor to take my pain seriously. I'm mourning because I'm a mother of a Black son. And I want him to be able to fail up. I want him to be able to make mistakes. I want him to be able to live beyond his mistakes. I want him to be able to be free. I want him to feel comfortable being around people of different colors and nationalities. I want him to be comfortable around police. I want him to know that police are there for him and not there to incarcerate him or to end his life. I'm mourning because there's so many people with great ideas and entrepreneurship skills, but they're constantly just putting it to the wayside because they don't have the opportunity to get the funding. I'm mourning because just us as a society, we are so caught up with just like keeping information to ourselves because we fought so hard to get to where we are. I'm mourning because we have so much further to go. But I have hope. I have hope that, we'll slowly get there. We'll slowly evolve. We'll put the right people in office. We'll learn how to do better and be better. And it literally starts with each and every one of us. Like, we all have a purpose. We all have a mission in our lives. There's there's a calling for all of us to do something. And I think the biggest thing for us to do is to embrace that calling, no matter what your circumstances are. Be it you do it on the part-time, you jump out there and do it on the full-time. And then we support each other in our callings. If I see there's a Black woman that is speaking up and advocating about politics and she's very well versed about it, I'm sharing it. If there's a Black woman or a Black man who's very well versed in finances, I'm sharing his gift, right? Like I'm investing in that, and I'm not fighting against that person. But we have to be brave enough to just jump out there and know that we can fail up too. We may need to put other things in place so that we can fail up properly, but we can fail up too. It may take some time to fail up, but just do it. Stop procrastinating. Stop waiting. Stop sitting on your gifts and just do it. There's somebody who needs to hear from you. There's somebody who needs to embrace you. There's somebody who needs to see you succeed. Okay, I'm going to get off of my soapbox. I hope that this message resonates with somebody. Again, it was just something that was put on my heart to share. So I know it's meant for somebody. It may not be meant for everybody, but somebody needs to hear it. Or maybe I just need to hear it. You know, maybe I just need to hear myself say it out loud. Yeah. One thing I can say that has helped me is just reaffirming the things that I know is true for my life, right? The one thing I know for sure that is true for my life is I'm healthy, I am wealthy, and I'm free. I say it every single day. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, and I'm free. My family is healthy, wealthy, and free. You are healthy, wealthy, and free. You need to let those words resonate with you every single day. And you need to actually take the steps in the direction that you need to go for your life. If it means that you are marching today, thank you. If it means you are financially supporting a cause, thank you. If it means that you are lending your voice in some way, thank you. If it just means that you are taking some real self-care steps to become a better person, thank you. Because we need you to be your very best self. And fail up. Fail up until you can't fail at all. Oh, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially when you feel like the cards are stacked against you. But it's just common law. Wheels in motion will stay in motion. Just keep going. All right, guys. I'm going to go in here and clean my kitchen because it's a mess. Oh, goodness. Let me know down below how you're feeling up. Like, what is something that you feel like you should be doing right now? What is resonating with your soul? Like, where are you right now? Just checking in. All right, guys. Here's to living healthier way. Until next time. Peace.